Another thing that I feel like people don't talk about as well is that when you're going after your vision, passion, there's going to be things that you don't like doing. That's just the reality of things, right? And if you think that everything you have to do, you have to like, then I'm sorry, you're delusional. It just doesn't work like that. The real world doesn't work like that.
Did you get the results back? You sound disappointed. You can do it. You can do it. Yeah. Don't be hard on yourself. Because the pressure got to use it. You see, that's the thing. It's like even if you know it in the exam, how you go and deal with the pressure, that's the most important thing.
The way I look at it is, I've got to do those things so I can do the things I like. And I think the moment you accept that it's part of the package and you just do it, everything becomes easier. Now, if you don't, then you've got to really ask yourself the question, what exactly are you doing this for? And what's your vision about this? Because you're not going to get everything your way. Most of the time in life, you're not going to get everything your way. And if you have this expectation that everything has to go my way, you're going to come to a very, very big disappointment. The moment you start having less expectations and you be open-minded about things and say, you know what, I'm going to say yes to everything and do everything at the beginning, things will be easier on the trajectory.
Good morning, people. Or should I say good morning, sunshine? Sunshines? Actually, that sounds weird. Good morning, people's good. Okay, so Saturday, 5:30, was it 5:40 a.m. Can you imagine 5:40 morning and look at this, the sun just shining right straight at us. Oh man, why can't everything be like this? Winter times, we don't even need to be stressed. We could just, wake up in the sun. But of course we can't, because there's something called seasons in life. And we just have to go through the season. So got quite a lot going on today. I'm going to get the feedback from the students for the GCSE exam and A-level exam. So that's going to be interesting because both sets have done the exams. Today, the GCSE have done paper 2. The A-levels have done paper 1. So I will be going to class. I'll be asking them, getting their feedback, and I'll keep you in the loop as well to let you know how they found it and what was the general consensus. Yeah, it should be interesting to see. For breakfast, I'm probably going to get eggs, pomegranate, cheese, make something like that. So yeah, let's get the day started.
Home, sweet home.
Did you get the results back? You sound disappointed.
Yeah.
You can do it. You can do it. Yeah. Don't be hard on yourself. In my opinion, I would prefer that you do well on the GCSE, like even if it's a 9. And say, okay, you get 7 or 8 and further. But I think you could push it to an 8, definitely. Was it differentiation questions, trade? They're not hard.
They're just big marks and they take a while.
Yeah, they're not hard. It's not thinking questions as much. So once you get the practice, you'll be fine. Come on, Dian, proportionality. I literally give these questions as if it's like a simple, hey, a little exercise to do. They're giving it as an exam question. Algebraic fraction.
I know.
I give harder than this.
Class,
I know. Was it pressure got to use it?
I'm not sure.
A lot of the questions you should have got it right. You could have got it right. You see, that's the thing. It's like even if you know it in the exam, it's like how you go and deal with the pressure. That's the most important thing. Whether you want to do the work or not, it's up to you. And Rian, come on, you should come up with a better excuse. You should say the hamster ate it.
Okay, so just finished class for the year 11s, A-levels, year 10s, and I think it was the year 9s as well. This was the final class for the year 11s. They still have a maths exam, the paper 3, on this coming Monday, but that is it. This is the last class for GCSE. It's been an interesting journey, to say the least. It's been a long journey. It's been a fulfilling journey. It's been a journey of a lot of ups and downs, as they say. I wouldn't have it any other way. And I've told them that, you've done what you can. You've done your best. All you've got to do now is perform, which is obviously easier said than done. What I did tell them, because the way we work is we always try and be, a couple of steps ahead, is they still wanted me to carry on for A-level. So they wanted to start A-level. So they're going to finish the GCSEs, and then we're having a 1 week off next week. And then the following week, I'm starting A-level maths, because they're the students that just want to get ahead so that by the time they get to September, they have an understanding of what A-level maths is about, but also ahead of the curve, which I'm okay to do that. So technically, it's just a week break, but obviously there's going to be some people that, don't want to do maths for A-levels, rightly so, for whatever their reasons are, which is fine. But the ones that are going to carry on, we're going to carry on again. So yeah, I did ask them, how the paper went. Pretty much everyone said for GCSE maths, they said that paper 2 was easier than paper 1. They found it better. The A-level class, they said it wasn't too easy and it also wasn't too hard. I think it was kind of in the middle, their feedback was. So we'll just have to see. So they still have the A-levels, paper 2 for pure maths, that's coming up on Monday. GCSE paper 3 is coming up on Monday. And for the A-level students, they still have a stats and mechanics, the applied maths as well, the following week. My last class with them would be next Sunday, but the GCSE we are done. And I had a very nice gift from a student, and he actually even wrote a card. He gave me a box of dark chocolates. That was very, very thoughtful, and I really appreciate that, so thank you. And he also wrote a very, very nice message, and I thought, I'll read it to you because I thought it was really very, very thoughtful. I think the thing about messages is that when it's a very thoughtful message, it sticks with you. And I won't name the student's name, but he will know who it is. Davidush, thank you for supporting me for nearly 2 years now. You have given me confidence and have taught me many things, of course, about maths, but also other aspects of life. Your words will always be in my mind, especially your long but incredible story, which I will never forget as it taught me so much. Thank you. And then he wrote a little thing on the side here, which I thought was really, really good. Very, very sweet and very well thought out. As the intensity and complexity of life's challenges grows, the intensity of dark chocolate mirrors the journey, a bittersweet reminder of resilience and strength. Fantastic message. Very, very, very thoughtful. So thank you so much for your card. I really appreciate it, and I appreciate the chocolates. You know who you are. But just wanted to share that. That was nice. So it's messages like this that really has an impact on you, because it's more than maths. You've impacted them more than you will ever know. And just from that, the way they speak about you, the impact that you've made on them comes from the words that they say about you. And that means a lot. So for me, I'm very, very grateful. I'm very humbled. I'm just going to keep helping people and give as much value as I can. That's all you can do. It was a nice thing. It was a nice little send off, one can say. And we're now going to focus on the next one. So, as obviously now summer's starting to come, I can relax a bit. And when I say relax, I mean just kind of take off the foot off the pedal, should I say, because obviously now exams are now coming to an end. It just means that now we're going to think about what we're going to do next, strategize, think about some moves that I do want to make and see how that goes. It's always constantly thinking about doing different things. You don't want to just be stagnant and stale. That will be exciting. But for that to happen, I need to switch off my mind for a bit, because I've been going non-stop from September till like now. So yeah, very good day, very good session, and onwards and upwards.
I mean, it's histograms. It's not babies.
Sure. Question.
I don't think even a full vision person can see it from there. Hi, Redeemer, you're right. She doesn't know. She doesn't realize. Where? The last question.
22. So I would have got 5. I shouldn't have said that.
You got 6 in Spanish and 5 in maths.
Yeah, but I was free English.
What I'm going to be doing for the year 10s and the year 8s and the year 9s will be a test. They'll be taking a test next week. The way I do the test, I do it because I want them to see how far they've come. And it's also to see, where their strengths and weaknesses lie. And it's also to see, how they're doing. It's all good teaching. It's all good me explaining things. It's all good them doing the questions. But at the end of the day, doing exam papers under exam conditions is what they're going to be doing when they get to year 11 and A levels. So me doing this is in a way to give them practice on how to deal with pressure when you are under exam condition. And it's also for me to give them feedback to the parents as well, so the parents know how they're doing as well. So they don't like it. They absolutely do not want to do it. But like I said, for me, I don't care. You have to do it. That's the whole point. I did tell them, I'm not doing it to bring you down. I'm not doing it to make you suffer. I'm doing it so that if you can practice being under exam pressure here with me, and I'll make you under exam pressure in the real thing, in the real GCSE, in the real A levels, you're not going to feel it as much because now you've had practice. So I normally do the exams in December and June as well. And it gets me to see as well where they are and how they're doing. But at the same time, it's to give them practice. Like I told them this, right? This is what I said. I'm not too fussed about the grade. Of course, if you're getting really, really low grade, that's something I need to discuss. But it's not about, who gets 100%, 90%. No. It's about me giving you the practice to be under exam conditions, and how do you deal with that in your mind? That's what I want, because if you're able to deal with that, the other stuff is easy. Learning the maths, I can teach, I can make them understand, no problem. But a lot of the times, I can't help their mindset, because if they're anxious and stressed all the time, that's something that they have to deal with. And the way you deal with it is by doing a lot of practice runs. And this is one of them. So that should be interesting. I've written the year 10 paper. So that's done, the year 10 maths exam paper, and I need to do for the year 8 and year 9s as well. So I'll be doing that, and then I'll be marking it on the same day. So they'll get the results the following week straight. I don't mess around like that. And hopefully we should see what happens and how people are doing. And again, it'll be good feedback for both the student and the parent. And also the parents like it. See, the students don't like it, but the parents like me doing this because it gives them good data points, should we say, about how their child is doing. And it's just good overall, right? It's not information. And, doing exams is also going to allow them to see how far their child have come or what weaknesses their child have to work on. And, we will have that discussion on the phone once those results are out. So that should be good. The long bit, I guess, is the marking, because there's a lot of students. So the marking is the one that's going to be more time consuming, but hey, it comes part of it. It's part of the package, and I'm not complaining, man. You just got to do it.
So, Ridima, what did you get results? Why? What happened?
I made a lot of silly mistakes.
So I also made lots of silly mistakes.
No, you. It's not silly mistakes. I think we need to.
Spanish? You do Spanish? What did you get?
5.
I thought you said 8 in Spanish.
Spanish is so hard. I don't know how
Should have took French.
No, French is
French is
hard.
hard. French is hard.
Français, c'est pas difficile. Si tu sais comment parler, c'est bien. French is difficult. It is difficult. Okay, so just finished the morning classes, and today for the year 12 pure maths, we covered radians. So let me just quickly show you that. So as you can see, these are the questions for the chapter radians. A bit more wordy. These ones do require a bit more thinking. It's not a simple matter of, okay, you have the formula and then just put it into the problem. You have to actually understand the problem, the diagram, and then know how to, use the formula to solve it. So with radians, it does require a bit more understanding, and in a sense, you can say even understanding the diagram. Now, if they give you the diagram, it makes it easier, but if they don't, you'll have to draw it to visualize the question. So for the year 12s, they're currently going through their maths mock exams. Some of them have finished, some of them it's coming up this week and the next week. But I've already started the second year content because I don't want to be behind, if that makes sense. I want to be ahead. So even though some of them have mocks, we've already started so that we can just be a couple of steps ahead, and people will get a better grasp of what's going to happen in second year. So I'm not waiting for the schools. We're just going to keep going. I'm also going to start second year mechanics content the following week. Second year compared to first year is a lot harder and it's a lot more in depth. So it does require a bit more time to understand. They will see like the step from first year to second year is a lot more compared from the step from GCSE to first year of A-level maths. So just going to quickly take a break, 5 minutes, and then going to start to prepare for the next class. Yeah, we'll let them know as well that they have an exam, and that should be an interesting reaction. Okay, so in this week's one, we're going to go through differentiation, but I'm going to take it one step harder than what we did last week. And again, you don't need any maths knowledge, you don't need any maths background. Anyone can understand this. So if you haven't watched last week's one, it's going to be in the last week's vlog. It's only 2-3 minutes, or let's say even 2 minutes, a little less than that. Check it out first and you'll be able to understand that before getting into this. So we've got 2 questions here to differentiate. Now, if you remember, differentiation just means finding the gradient. So when I'm differentiating, what I'm going to do is I'm going to say dy over dx, okay? And if you remember, what we're going to do is we're going to take the power, in this case, which is -4, and I'm going to times that by the number in front. So I'm going to differentiate each of these terms separately. So first I'm going to do -4 times 5, which is -20. So I'm going to write -20 x, and remember when we differentiate we take 1 away from the power, so I have -4 here. I'm going to do -4 minus 1. -4 minus 1 is -5, plus I'm going to differentiate 2x. So just imagine there's a 1 here. If there's no number, it's normally just 1. So I'm going to do 1 times 2, which is 2, and then I'm going to take away 1 from 1. 1 minus 1 is 0, but anything to the power 0 is what? 1. So it's just going to be 2, the x goes. And then if we want to differentiate a number, it goes to 0 because there's no x in there. So if you're differentiating 3, 4, 5, 6, 100, it goes away, 0. So that is my answer for this one. Second example, what we have here is slightly different in that we have something that's x squared on the bottom. So what we want to do is we want to bring this x squared to the top. So before differentiating, all I'm going to do first is I'm going to rewrite this So 6x5 stays the same. X squared, I'm going to move to the top. So all I'm going to do is if I move x squared to the top, it doesn't become x squared now, it becomes x to the minus 2. So the rule here is whenever you're moving something to the top, the power changes its sign. So because this was positive 2, now moving it to the top becomes negative 2. If it was negative 2 and you move that to the top, it becomes positive 2. That's it, nothing else. And don't forget the plus 3x. So now I'm going to differentiate. So I'm going to say dy dx, we're going to do 5 times 6, 30, take away 1 from 5, which is 4. Now I'm going to do minus 2 times minus 4, don't forget the minus, so that's plus 8, x, and then we're going to take away 1 from minus 2. So minus 2 minus 1 is minus 3. And then we're going to differentiate 3x. So imagine there's a 1 here, 1 times 3 is 3, and then because you're taking away 1 from this, it gives you to the power 0, which is 1. So your answer is going to be that. And that is how you differentiate.
What's the curve surface area? R.
Yeah. 2 pi r.
Zerba. Microphone mine. Zerba.
If you bite your tongue, you mean someone's talking bad about you.
I've been my tongue quite a lot of times, so a lot of people hate on me. That makes sense.
So will it teach you it?
I have no idea, but it looks like this.
Baby.
It might be some nursing course or something because they have babies there as well, right? So,
Are they real babies?
I know, fake, robotic, automated noise,
They're real.
computing. Ask him out, he'll know about all of that stuff. No, back in our, not back in our days, I'm not that old. But girls and boys, we wear the ties, you the blazer, same thing.
Back in the 1950s.
I wasn't even born in the 1950s.
Back in the 90s.
90s were the best. That's why all of you are now going back and listening and looking at the movies from the 90s. Well, I don't know.
He's doing that. He's doing
A
that.
lot of people, maybe not you, but a lot of people. This is another thing that I feel like people don't talk about as well, is like when you're doing things, like especially when you're going after your vision, passion, whatever, right? There's gonna be things that you don't like doing. You can't just say, oh, I don't like doing this, so I'm gonna just not do it or I'm gonna outsource it. At the beginning, you have to do everything. That's just it. That's just the reality of things, right? You're not everything that you're going to do, you're going to like. And if you think that everything you have to do, you have to like, then I'm sorry, you're delusional. It just doesn't work like that. The real world doesn't work like that. Like I love teaching, I love explaining things to students, I love talking with the parents, but there's also other things that I don't like. The admin stuff, I don't like that, but it's got to be done, right? That's just part of it. The way I look at it is, I've got to do those things so I can do the things that I like. I'm doing the things that I don't like, some of those things, right? Which is the admin and etc. So then I can do the things I like. It's just part of the package. And I think the moment you accept that it's part of the package and you just do it, everything becomes easier. So that's another thing. Just don't be thinking that, you know, everything that you have to do, you have to like. It just doesn't work that way. The real world doesn't work that way. You're going to do things that you don't like and you have to do it. Now, if you don't, then you got to really ask yourself the question, what exactly are you doing this for? And what's your vision about this? Because you're not going to get everything your way. Most of the time in life, you're not going to get everything your way. And if you have this expectation that everything has to go my way, you're going to come to a very, very big disappointment. The moment you start having less expectations and you be open-minded about things and say, you know what, I'm going to say yes to everything and do everything at the beginning, things will be easier on the trajectory. So we've got about, I think, 15 minutes. I need to get ready for the class. And yeah, I'll see you guys on the next one.